Yes, don't forget to check out Doggie Diamonds No Filter, the actual audio version of this podcast that can be heard on Apple Podcasts, as well as Spotify, as well as SoundCloud. So make sure that you go to those platforms. The links for those are right below in the description box. You could go there and get there. Also, for only $100, I'll promote whatever you need on my social media and my website. That's my Twitter, Facebook, Insta Stories, YouTube community, and my website, www.doggydiamondstv.com is the website. Hit me up on Instagram at Doggy Diamonds for your promo. Serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. Whatever you need promoted. It could be your clothing line, your music, your website, your YouTube, your merch. Whatever you have, I can promote that for you on my platforms. Also, if you're not getting the alerts or you're not getting anything, make sure you go to www.theinterviewking.com. Sign up for the email list to get the new content. You will not get anything to your email besides when content is uploaded or when I'm going live. This is your email will not be spammed. So go there. That is in the description box as well. Let's go. I'm here. I was just doing something with my phone. Salute, y'all. All right, stop the music. Stop the music. What's up, everybody? I go by the name of Doggie Diamonds. This is Doggie Diamonds TV. This is Doggie Diamonds No Filter Podcast. Sorry to come on here so late, but if you're on the West Coast, it's a good time. On the East Coast, not so much. It's a little late. Some of you probably have to go to work. But if you're like me and you're insomniacs and you don't really sleep that much, then you're up and you were looking for something to do. So much BS on the boob tube, so much BS on the YouTube. You might as well just come here and chill with me and hear a little bit of this game that I got, a little bit of this information that I want to give y'all tonight. So, on Clubhouse today, Liza Rios was on Clubhouse. She was in a room I think is ran by a beast from 100 side of Clubhouse. She came into the room. She was speaking, and she was being asked a bunch of questions about, Pun, Fat Joe, and all that stuff. So I got pinged to the room. When I went to the room, being that I know a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, I was able to ask her questions that people don't know, because I know that some of the inside and behind the scenes stuff. And also I think it's certain things that when you interview people, you want to steer people in a direction to where they can give information that people don't know. Now, respectfully, some of the people on Clubhouse, they're going to ask questions. That's the surface questions, this, that they don't know. But I was able to extract certain information from her because I know her as well as I know certain information. So I was able to do that. I also put a little clip on the channel. I don't know if y'all watched the shorts when I put them up there, but I upload a lot of shorts to the YouTube. Now I like doing the shorts because right to the punch, a minute long, not really that intrusive, doesn't take too much time of your day, and that's what that is. So let me give you a little backstory real quick. So I interviewed Liza Rios in 2008. So the name of this video is Fat Joe, Big Pun, Liza Rios, Wack 100 Saga to begin. And I'm going to explain how all of them have something to do with this title and something to do with what I'm talking about tonight. So I interviewed Liza in 2008. The interview did very well on Forbes DVD. Reason why I interviewed her, because she wasn't getting a voice. Nobody was talking to her. She was homeless. It was a lot going on. And in these situations, and this is for artists, and again, when I say stuff to you, I want it to be educational for artists that are in the industry, that want to be in the industry, and take what I say and be one to grow on in your life and what you're doing. So in this situation, you had Big Pun, who unfortunately unfortunately passed away. When he passes away, the heir to his catalog, the heir to his estate would be his wife. Now, many men have these wives, girlfriends that don't know nothing about the business. They know nothing about the business. All they know is that their husband or boyfriend or baby father was in the industry. They might have some of the glamour and glitz from the industry, clothes, jewelry, and all that, but they don't know anything about the business. They don't know no contracts that was signed. They don't know what is owed. They don't know about the bank accounts. They don't know a lot. I will say, if you are an artist and you are married or you have a girlfriend or a baby mother or somebody that you're going to be with, please get them involved, not in your business, but in business, that if something happens to you untimely, they will be able to take over the business and get their just due. Also, make sure you make a living will. That is very important. Make a living will. So if something happens to you, unfortunately, you know your wife and children will be taken care of forever. And I think a lot of people think we think we're going to live forever, right? So when something happens to us, then it's the uproar. Here comes the sister that wanted. The mother say, I want this. The baby mother want this. The third baby mother. And we're seeing this time and time again because unfortunately, as black people, we think we're going to live forever. And anytime any of us can go, and when we go, people tend to fight. So Pun passes away. Liza don't know shit about the music business, about the industry. But now she is the boss. So she has to sign off contracts. She has to do all the stuff she got to do. She doesn't know. So, of course, it's going to be misappropriation of funds on her part because she don't know any better. Of course, it's going to be misappropriating funds that's due to her because they don't know any better. And I want to say this because I'm seeing a lot of videos from people that don't know what they're talking about, for one. They're not close to this situation, but it's sensationalized because it's easy to say Wack 100 exposes Fat Joe. Now, I don't think he exposed Fat Joe because any information that's coming out is not new. It is old information. This information go back to 2008. Some of it is true, some of it is not true. So right now, for content, people are just saying Wack 100 did this to Fat Joe, or Fat Joe this, Fat Joe that. Let's put some type of respect on Fat Joe's name, right? Because when we think about the culture, Fat Joe is a guy coming off the streets, was in the group DITC. He does not know the business himself. So what's happening in our culture, we got each other that don't know the business. All we know is we getting money, we getting these dollar signs. We don't know what to do with the money. We don't know who's owed what. We don't know any of those things. The higher uppers know. We don't sit at the feet of anybody. We don't learn. It's going to take us 10 years what these people have been doing for 50 years, for 30 years, to learn what they already know, right? So it's not too many artists who sit at the feet at executives and learn the business. What happens is they come into the culture, they get beat, they get shortchanged. What happens? The person, as we know historically, the person who gets touched becomes the toucher. The person who gets done wrong, in order for them to get they get back, they get somebody else back. Biggie said it. Me and my nigga Lance took Kim and C's advance. He said it. So you got Fat Joe who comes in the culture. He signed a relativity. I don't know his business. I don't know his deal. I don't know his structure, but I know he's not an executive. I know that he doesn't know the business enough to, be able to make sure everybody is straight. I know that he's going to be in a situation where he's going to get a lot of deals and stuff thrown at him. Now, who taught him how to do right by people? Who taught him? Because if you were done wrong, Now you want to get your get back through somebody else. And that's the unfortunate cycle that has been going on in this culture for a long time and is going to continue. It is not going to stop. But nobody blames the higher uppers. Nobody blames the bankers and the financiers of the whole thing. Because if you give me $1 million, you gave me $1 million. Now it's up to me to say what you're worth, what you're worth, what you're worth, what you're worth. You think in this culture of people coming from nothing, they're really going to divvy up that pot correctly? Unfortunately, not going to do it. Because now, shit, I could buy my mom's a house. Damn, I've been fighting with my girl. I get to buy her this Birkin. I have all this, that, and the third. That's what happens, right? That's what happens. Unfortunately, why? Because I might have gotten jerked. So the next way for me to get my get back is I'm going to get it through somebody else. Unfortunately, but this is a cycle that happens. So Fat Joe goes from being bust it, check it, watch how I wreck it, to getting a little notoriety in the culture, right? To being discovering pun, getting this incredible artist, but then now he's an executive in this guy's situation. How does he know what to do? He doesn't know what Steve Rifkin knows, but nobody will ever say, Steve Rifkin is not going to sit Joe down and say, yo, Joe, this is what you do. This is how you do this. This is how he's not going to teach him that. So we're coming in a culture that we really don't know. We're just coming in as talent. We're coming in as talent. Everybody is coming in as talent. Street dudes, if somebody give me $50 for something, you bet they want 100. But when the record labels give you $50, they want 1,000. Nobody blames them. Nobody says they're doing this wrong. Nobody says they're doing that. So he comes into the culture. On the executive side, he doesn't know any better. I'm not justifying, because not knowing is never a legal defense. But again, none of us sit at the feet of the business. We do not come from schools. We do not come from literature. We don't have no literacy in any of these things. We trust lawyers who trust agents. We trust them. And who are these people to us? It's people we don't even know. It's people who come into our talent and find ways to make money from our talent, and they end up making more money than us from our talent and our labor and our IP. So that's what happens, right? So you got Joe, he got pun. Discovering pun was an incredible thing, because not only did he discover an incredible artist, he discovered an artist that can also help him with his career now. So now things is flourishing. Pun is first Puerto Rican to go platinum, who sells all these records. But then unfortunately, Pun passes away. Now what happens? Now we in a situation to where when he passes away, in comes Liza now, who has to step in for Pun and handle the business that Pun probably didn't ever handle. You got to remember that. She has to step in, and now she has to learn contracts. She has to learn taxes. She has to learn all this when she could have just been in the house making rice and peas, respectfully. So this is what's happening. Fat Joe now is her partner in stuff. Maybe they don't get along. Maybe they don't like each other. When Big died, Un had to become partners with Faith. So I ain't going to talk their business. But again, you see Un didn't stay with entertainment. He went to entertainment, right? So what happens is that we're coming in the culture and we don't know. We don't know the culture of business. We just know the culture of in the studio and putting out records and doing shows and all that. We don't know the business. But we're forced to be business partners, and you don't know the business, and neither do I. So when it's $100,000 and I take 70 and you take 30, everybody's going to say, oh, you got beat. This person got beat. This person took this. This person took that. But you don't know what real profit was, and you don't know until we start going over the books that we don't know how to do right, till we start going through contracts that we don't know how to go through the contracts. We'll do. I get a well. Let me tell you something. Now I can read a contract. Why? Because I've been in the business for a long time, but I still have to get a look over, because on this page it could say this, and then on the next page it could contradict what it said on the first page. So what passage does it go by? What, the first page or the third page? So that's when you get lawyers to omit certain passages out of the contract. But if you don't know that, you don't know that. Many times people are going to in contract negotiations with the lawyer of the person who gave you the contract. This is what's happening. And y'all who don't know the business, first of all, let me just say something. Many of you who don't know the business, y'all talk too fucking much. All y'all see is money. All y'all see is, yo, this came in, I'm supposed to get this. Well, who said you're supposed to get that? Where in the paperwork does it say you're supposed to get that? Now, when we dealing with morals, values, and principles, all that should go out the window when it comes to money. That has been going out the window since the dawn of time. Listen, that's just what it is, unfortunately. But that's just what it is. You see a lot of groups breaking up. You see a lot of people not friends no more over money. You see a lot of money issues. So we're not going to sit here and say, oh, you got 100. What you supposed to do, and what you are contractually have to do is two different things. You got advances. You got recouped. You got all types of things that's going on. And many of you who don't know the business, because you never had a contract, you never been in the music business, you don't know shit, you're looking at YouTube videos and hearing stories, and then now you think you know the culture and you think you know the business. And I'm telling you, you don't. You don't know nothing about points, mechanicals, residuals. You don't know nothing about none of that. You don't know anything about publishing. You don't know shit, but you keep talking and you make videos and you act like you know, oh, this person beat this person. So what happens if I was taking care of you for a year? I done got you an apartment. I done got you a car. I done got you clothes and all that shit. And you think when you get your record deal and you get a couple of dollars, I don't want my shit back? So now when you got all the spoils with no labor, now you were able to amass some type of funds. You don't think I want my shit back? So you're going to say, yo, he took 100,000 out my budget. I gave you 100,000 before you had a budget. So the ear listens to, damn, he a millionaire. Why he take 100,000 from him? Because I gave him 100 before. How you think he had that chain? How do you think he had this? How do you think you had that? How do you think you had all these things? Because I fronted the money for you before anybody fronted the money to me. Okay? So that's what happens in this culture. Everybody wants their money back. Everybody wants their money back. So you had situations where Liza had to sign off on certain things. Liza might have gotten this money, the money. She's not an accountant. She's never had this a bunch of money. She didn't know how to. So of course she's probably going to misappropriate certain funds. So when she says, yeah, I signed this and I got 75,000 here and I got this and I got that, people say, well, how the hell are you homeless? Well, when Pone was alive, she had a certain lifestyle, right? What she didn't know was him not being here anymore, the lifestyle has to change because he was the one that was bringing in the money via the lifestyle. Now that he's not here anymore to create new money, now we have to live off old money that are coming. So of course she's going to do things with money that she don't know. Of course she might end up being homeless. Now you have an individual who is looking like, hold on, you're not my wife. Who don't know the business, who just knows when money come in, I want mine. I want mine. Now this is what happens. This is what happens. This is where the game starts of these contracts, these lawyers, deception, light thievery, But it's being done by so many people, the face gets blamed because they say, yo, you were pun man. You're supposed to do this. But how come nobody asked Steve Rifkin anything? How come Steve Rifkin's name is in nothing? Wasn't Pun signed to Loud Records? Nobody questioned Steve. I never heard Steve Rifkin get questioned anything. Is automatically Fat Joe. And he has to take some blame, which he ended up being liable for a lot of stuff. But again, who taught him to either be a good guy or a thief? Who taught him that? See, we blame the child for cursing, but where did they hear the cursing at? You had to curse in order for them to learn what a curse was. So I'm not giving him an out. I'm not giving him an out. But one of the pussy things that people do in this business that I can't stand is we go for the niggers all the time. We go for the figureheads. We go for the faces. But you got to remember, it's an unseen hand in this shit. It is people who are cutting these checks that are fucking everybody. But nobody goes after them. You know why? Because y'all pussy. Straight up, y'all pussy. And you go after them, you're out of here. Because they all will band together and shut your ass down. So you go for the niggas. It's easy to beat up on the black guy. It's easy to come on my channel and say, Doggie Diamonds ain't shit. Yeah, you ain't shit. This ain't shit. That ain't shit. But you won't go to them and say that. You know why? Because they shut your ass down. They shut your ass down. So you could beat me up. You could come in here and say whatever. You know, my beard is nappy. I got fucking shades on. You can say all that shit about me. You could kick me in my ass. Nobody is going to protect me. Nobody's going to protect me. Nobody's going to protect me. Because it's easy for me to get my ass kicked. Go to them and say that shit. I bet you that'll be the last shit you say. So you scared. You scared. So again, we're in a situation where the thieves learn from thieves. We're coming in this culture talent-based. We're coming in this culture talent-based. I'm coming in this culture wanting to do interviews. You think I knew what YouTube was? You think I knew what a CPM was? What SEO is? You think I knew any of that shit? I didn't know none of that. So I'm gonna be getting beat for 10 years before I know anything. You think I knew what iframe was and HTML5 was and templates and CSR and I didn't know none of that shit. I'm just coming in, yo, I know him. I could get an interview with him. Let me upload it. I didn't know. Meanwhile, when I'm coming in talent-based, somebody is saying, damn, I can make some money off this nigga because he don't know how to make money off himself. Then what they do, they get the gatekeepers to come and say, hey, why don't you come over here because I could do this with you. Now me, not knowing any better, being on zero, right? Zero, the big old zero. When you give me $1, it'd be the zero. Not knowing I'm worth 100 or 200 or 1,000,000. When you give me $1, I'm cool with that. But the higher uppers know they're going to make 1,000,000 off of me. And all they got to do is give me $1. And I'm okay with that. I'm going to work. I'm going to bust my ass. I'm going to do all this shit for $1. How much money they're going to make off me? I never asked those questions because shit, I'm on $1. I'm on this big thing. That's why you got dudes. Yeah, I just signed this deal with such and such. I just got 2 million. No, you didn't. Stop. No, you didn't. What you got was an advance. Then they put the rest of the money in escrow. Put the rest of the money in escrow, and as you need the monies for your projects or whatever, then they go draw it from there. That's how you send invoices, and then they take the money from what they put in escrow for you. So they're able to manipulate us because we don't know any better. And that's been going on since the dawn of time. You mean to tell me these kids is in a project rapping and somebody come and say, I want to sign you and I'm going to give you 10 grand? Motherfucker ain't going to take 10 grand? Not knowing you're worth $1 million, not knowing you're worth $2 million. They know your worth. That's why they come to you. You don't know any better. So now Fat Joe, Liza have their falling out. It's public. Now this is where it gets tricky at. You have all these individuals who say, I love pun, I love pun, I love pun. Okay, so let's call all these individuals to the table. Out of all the people who said they love pun, everybody sided with Joe. Everybody sided with Joe. Cuban didn't side with Joe because he had his own reasons for not siding with Joe for his personal shit and also his love for pun. But everybody sided with Joe. So now here it is. Joe can say whatever he wants. Oh, I gave her 10 million. And we all say, hold on, you gave her 10 million? So what the fuck she do with the money? Because with us, we watch pockets. We don't know what we're talking about. So if somebody say it, we believe that their tongue came notarized. So they can say, yo, I gave her this. And we'll believe it, right? And we turn around and look at them and say, they gave you this? What the fuck you do with the money? Nah, you bust that money up. He said he gave you this. Could be all cap. I don't got no caps around. Damn, I got to keep a cap. Right? It could be all cap. So now we look at the individual like, nah, you got what you're supposed to get. But how the fuck do we know what they're supposed to get? How do we know that the person is not lying, capping? Because remember, the person who got beat turns around and beats somebody else. That's just the culture, unfortunately. It's sad, but it is what it is. So now she's in the shelter. All the people who say they love pun, all the shit that he did. Sorry, y'all, I'm just doing something in my phone really quick. Oh shit, it say phone unavailable. All the people who say they love pun. Nobody says, okay, look, Joe, I don't know what's going on, nor do I care. But for the love of pun, let's take some money, put it in an account so these kids could be okay. Even if the money gets siphoned off, stipends every month, let's just do something to make sure the kids is okay. So he gets to rest and say, nah, I gave her this. Fuck that, she got to get a job. Then you got the trolls, because I remember when it happened, you got the trolls saying, yeah, she got to get a job. What, she think she going to live off that forever? The same people who said she need to get a job is now saying, oh, he did her dirty. So I don't even trust people. People will wish, that's why I don't like calling people fans, right? Think about a fan. No matter what the temperature is, that's the air that the fan blows. So when it's cold, it's going to blow cold air. When it's hot, it's going to blow hot air. Fans are hot and cold. So I don't trust fans. That's a double entendre for, Anyway, I ain't no rapper, but I'm just saying. So now, here we go. It's 2008. She don't have no voice. She put out a documentary that people didn't agree with. People are blaming her for all types of egregious acts, saying she did this and did that. She's selling some of Pun's stuff, selling some of his clothes, maybe his jewelry and all that. And people are saying, yo, She shouldn't this, that, and the third, but we don't know her life. We don't know what Pun left. We don't know if he left $1, $10, or whatever, because again, these artists don't have a living will. They don't think they're going to die. They never say, if this happens, make sure my wife this, that, and the third. They never do that. They never do that. Okay? So what happens, she is left in squalor. She's left in squalor. Because nobody's going to help her because he said he gave her $1 million. Shit, if he gave her $1 million, what the fuck can I do for her? She says he didn't. But who has the bigger voice? He doesn't have a voice. He has a voice. So we're not listening to her. Right? We're not listening to her. So what happens now? She's crying for help for all these fucking years. Telling everybody something ain't right, something is wrong. I never really got my just due. I know it's more out there. And then this is the game. This is the culture. They start hiding the money here. They start hiding the money here. He didn't recoup. He didn't this. He didn't that. Blah, 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 blah. So what happens? Everybody just tell her to shut the fuck up. Go get a job. It's over. Now, what happens is some people, by the grace of God, say, yo, I think I can help you. People who don't got a dog in the fight. People that are putting their platform, their reputation, their name on the line. Because when you go against these powerful people in the culture, and this is what people don't know about me, I have put my name and reputation on the line millions of times for people, right? For people. We do the interview, she speaks out. It gets a lot of coverage because this is the media takeout thing. It just works. It just works. She gets to speak. I ask her critical questions, good, bad, or indifferent. But this is the first time she gets a voice. But it's coming from me. Who the fuck is Doggie Diamonds? Who the fuck is Forbes DVD? So what happens is that now people in the culture say, oh, nah, I can't fuck with you because he don't fuck with you. They don't fuck with you. That's the beginning of blackballing. That's why I never kissed nobody else. That's why I never cared. I said I was always on the side of right. I don't give a fuck about being nobody's friend. I don't even know these niggas. So how am I anybody's friend? But let's be on the side of right. Okay, if you got a big voice and this individual is not lying, then let's hear what they got to say. And if they lying, you could easily shut them up with receipts and proof, right? This is easy. Yo, shut up. I did this, that, and the third. Okay. That goes on for all these years. That goes on for all these years. I've interviewed Chris before. I seen the oldest daughter, Amanda, who was start her glasses line. The middle child, Vanessa, she's doing her singing thing. But I'm sitting there saying to myself, God damn, nobody trying to help Pun kids? Fuck the mother. If that's the case, nobody helping Pun kids. This is his children, and they all look exactly like him. So if you say you love Pun, how could you not love what he's left on the earth that's more important than the music? Why? Because everybody's being loyal till we find out was a lie. This is New York City. This is the East Coast that we got to stick to. This is that East Coast shit. Everybody's being loyal to a lie. I could only interview Liza but so many times. She could only tell the same story but 100 times. I don't have the power. I don't have the pull. I don't have the ability to walk her in anywhere and get her a check cut. I don't have anything to do that. All I could do is help her tell what she deemed to be the truth. Because again, like everybody else, I have to listen to what's going on in the culture. I don't know. It's her word against his word. And why would he be lying? I don't know. So they finally go to litigation. They finally, some NDAs are done. You know, the legal stuff is done. She finally wins her rights. They finally find out that it was some funds out there. Legally, when you're dealing with lawyers and you're dealing in a situation, you're never going to get what you deserve, but you're going to get something. She finally wins control of the shit that she should have been in control of from the first place, right? She finally wins control. Salute. Again, we can blame Joe for lying and saying he gave her money. That's one thing that I would say he's dead ass wrong for. But again, not giving him an out. He learned from snakes. He learned from people who steal from people. He learned from people who have been doing this since the goddamn culture started. He's learned that. He's learned it. They learned how to take from rob Peter to pay Paul. They learned that. So it's learned behavior. She wins everything. But now she has a story to tell. She has a story to tell. In this culture, if somebody says, don't fuck with them, I don't fuck with them, people who think that they gotta be in alignment with a certain individual for whatever reason, they say, well, you don't fuck with them, I don't fuck with them either. Let me tell you a story really, really quick. As y'all know, for years, me and Gully TV didn't get along over some stupid shit, which we since deaded, laugh about it, and you know, try to big each other up as much as we could, because me and him is like two of the most long-standing individuals that's in the culture of hip-hop that still talks about hip-hop, right? Yeah, we mix a little bit of shit in, but we still interview artists that has something to do with the culture. My friend, my childhood friend, Karan from the Youngsters came to me one day and said, yo, I want to do an interview with Gully. I don't know if y'all get along, but I said, bro, one thing I'm not going to do, that man does good interviews. You need press. He has a good platform. Don't let what I'm going through with him stop you from doing your press, because you can only do but so many interviews with me, right? You do one with me, do one with him. That's two. I'm not going to be no bitch. I'm not going to say, oh, no, don't fuck with him. No, bro, go get your press on. Do that. So I've never been the type of individual to say, I don't fuck with somebody, so I don't want you to fuck with them. Listen, I ain't nobody's father. So whatever you do, I hope it works for you. So now we're in a stage right now. So I'm talking to Wack about some other business, because people keep pressing of, yo, Wack this, Wack this, Wack that. Okay, yeah, he might be whatever you want him to be, right? But you have a person that is dealing with entertainment. Then you have a person that's dealing with business. And one thing, I swear to you, one thing that we don't know how to separate the bullshit from the business. We will stand on bullshit and fuck all the business up. People won't go to a party because they wasn't invited. Family members. Since when do you call all your family and say, I'm having a party? It's family. She'll pull up. We family. Why did I have to give you a personal call when I didn't give 20 other family members a personal call? But I ain't get invited. They didn't hit me and tell me to come. I'll be like, yo, we was fucking family. You my cousin. Like, I expect you to be there. I can't tell the whole family. I can just make a post and the whole family sees it. But you don't get a special invite because nobody else got a special invite. The difference between us and these other cultures is they do business. They don't like each other. They get money together. They suppress you But what they say is, you ain't coming to my bar mitzvah, and you ain't coming to no sweet 16. You're not invited to my wedding, and we're not going to go play grab ass with each other and go to the bathhouse with each other. But we gonna get some money together. With us, we stay with the feelings. Fuck the money up. Always look how many people in this culture right now that we look at do not talk, do not fuck with each other behind feelings, and it fucks up so much money. Everybody else, the Asians' business is war. That's their motto. With us, business is personal. Everybody, that's why we lose. That's why we the last ones in the race. Because with us, everything is personal. Everything is, oh, I wasn't feeling him. Or, yo, he did this on purpose. So, fuck him. So, let me get this straight. You willing to lose $100 million because y'all don't get along? Yeah, it's the principle. It's the morals. Nigga. You ain't rich. You can't walk away from that money. Because once you sit in a certain seat, look how many people depend on you. You're in your feelings. And I said this today. I said this to somebody via text today. I said, yo, me being stubborn in a situation fucked up something. Me being stubborn, and it ain't no business shit. It was some relationship shit. But I was stubborn. Just trying to be standing on something. Standing on, no, I'm like this. Well, how the fuck did that work out for me? It didn't. Because sometimes you have to say, yo, you know what? What's the bigger picture? What is this all about? Let me stop acting like a fucking bitch. Let me take my ego out of it. Let me take my pride out of it and see where this goes. And this is why so many of us don't talk. This is why so many of us don't fuck with each other. This is why so many of us fuck up. Because niggas is being emotional instead of being men and saying I'm wrong or saying I'm right or agreeing to disagree. But how can we keep the mission going? Okay, yeah. I'm wrong for that. Or I don't feel like I'm wrong. But how do we keep the mission going? Because we got together, we set out to do something together, and we're deviating from the plan based off of our emotions. It's almost like when you get into a relationship with a female and she says, oh, you set a goal with each other. We're supposed to do this and do this and do that. And they say, oh, I'm not feeling you anymore. So you're not feeling me. So fuck the mission? Fuck the mission? Because you are mad at me? You got people who don't even sleep in the same room, don't even live in the same house, but will amass what they need to take care and help everybody and could put their feelings aside, suppress shit for the greater good of the situation. But let's move on. I have a conversation with Wack. Wack says to me, yo, I just did some shit for Pun Family. I'm like, what? So he tells me, and I'm like, damn, I say, yo, bro, I gotta hold this information. Like, this is some celebratory shit. Could I tell everybody? He was like, nah, it's going through. I'm definitely making it go through. I already did that in the third. I'm like, yo, this is a celebration because this is for the culture. We're finally gonna get a big Pun series. We're finally gonna get this shit. Then I started saying to myself, damn, everybody look at you like a fucking asshole. To a certain extent, you might have earned that in certain situations. But look what you did for the culture, though. Where the fuck was the East Coast people at that did that? Where was the people that would have said, yo, Joe, I understand what you're saying. I understand you mad, but we got to do this for Pun, bro. We got to do this for Pun. Even if we find a way to cut the wife out of everything. Let's find a way to make sure his children and his legacy lives. When are we going to get out our feelings? Nobody said that. Why does it take the hip hop villain, the New York hater, the on Paru, why does it take him to do a gesture that none of you motherfuckers did? Make it make sense. It's not personal, it's cultural. Because if nobody did it in all of these years, that means we got to sit there and listen to Still Not a Player. We got to listen to this shit. There's no Big Pun float at the Puerto Rican Day Parade. There's no the day of his birthday. There's no celebration. There's nothing because individuals didn't get along and was in their feelings for so long, and it took somebody to say, yo, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm going to make sure the business is done. You can feel how you want to feel about Wack. Some of it might be justified if it's personal with you. Culturally, and if any of you dudes from the city, from the town, feel like, fuck that, I don't want him to have nothing to do with it, then counter the deal. If anybody's making calls saying, don't trust him, don't fuck with him, then you counter the deal. You walk her in somewhere to get this Big Pun story told on the big screen. Because out of all of our deceased artists besides Big L, everybody got their story told. Pun don't deserve a story, a mini series, a fucking TV series, a movie. Big Pun. So, if you feel like you can counter it, you scared, you don't trust him, you counter the situation. You say, you over here, you got this with him, but I can take you over here and get this. And stop trying to appease people via her situation. Because if her and Joe is not going to get along and they're not going to find a way to make it work, then it shouldn't have to work. You know why? Because he has his Big Pun story and she has her Big Pun story based off of being his fucking wife. That's just, it don't get no more realer than that. It gets no more realer than that. It gets no more realer than that. The same way the big story was told from the eyes of Chico. That's another story. You understand what I'm saying? So, if anybody feels a way, and again, I'm not telling you to feel away or not feel away. That's your politic. But all I know in this business, niggas always feel away, regardless. So, you can't appease everybody. That's why I don't give a fuck. I ain't trying to be nobody's friend. If you fuck with me, you fuck with me. If you don't, you don't. Listen, I ain't grow up with a lot of these niggas. Anyway, if you feel like you are afraid for her, because you ain't been afraid for her for 20 fucking years. I interviewed her in 2008. How long ago was 2008? 2008. I interviewed her. She just won her court case about 2 years ago. So anything before, look how long ago that was. And if you feel like you scared for her, if you feel like Wack is not going to do the right thing, if you feel like Wack has hidden motives or anything, I'm going to say it again, you counter the situation. You walk her in somewhere. Stop making her say, I'll do this, but you and Joe got to talk. They ain't fucking talking all this long. They didn't get along. Then they probably won't get along, and that's fine. That is both of their prerogatives. They have reasonings for not liking each other or whatever the case may be. But if you feel like you scared for her, you want this story out there, you walk her in somewhere. You take her somewhere. And until you do that, instead of criticizing or who's doing what, because remember, something is better than your nothing for all of these years. Because if we left it up to the peanut gallery, we would never get a Big Pun story, right? We would never we would never get a series. We wouldn't get certain shit. And also it's stuff that I know behind the scenes that I won't say on a platform unless I get authorization from certain people. But it has been people that were supposed to push shit through. But then again, they're trying to make people do shit that's not true. And people rather say fuck it before they lie. Because when I cover for your lie, that makes me a liar. I'm not covering for nobody lies. I only lied to the cops, and I've lied to girlfriends. A little bit. But I only lied to the damn cops. So the Wack 100 exposes Fat Joe, that shit got to stop. Because many of y'all don't know the story. What's going to happen is that we're going to get what is rightfully deserved. And again, when it comes to the culture, money and the culture has never gone together because the culture was never about money. Yeah, they're going to make some money. I hope they make some money. But for the culture, for the Puerto Rican individuals that's going to get a chance to see their hero who did it like no other on the big screen. There was no representation of Pun at the Loud Records reunion. There was no representation of him from his family. There's no floats. We don't know when his birthday is. We don't know when his death day is. He has been buried in the culture. He has been buried in the culture. Y'all think that that's fair? Y'all think that that's right? That one of the nicest... Listen, you ain't a killer. I'm going to put that against anything. I'm just keep it real. You ain't a killer, I'll put that up against anything. I'm going to put that up against anything. How has Big Pun been celebrated? He has not been celebrated in our culture because, unfortunately, the factors that should be celebrating him don't get along. For what? For good reasons? Bad reasons? Whatever side you on? I don't give a fuck. But finally, we might be getting what people need. This individual passed away suddenly. I remember I just lost 100 pounds. I'm trying to live. I remember that. When Pun died, every rapper or every death hits me a little different. When Pun died, it scared me. It scared me. Why? Because I knew that his death was attributed to his health, his weight. Being a guy who's 300 pounds and you hear one of the dopest rappers died because he had decline in health and had weight issues, that shit don't feel too good to you. It resonates with you a little different. So I started hearing, when they described his last moments, I'm like, oh, nah, I'm scared. I'm fucking scared. It scared me. It woke me up. It scared me. It made me say, oh, shit, no. I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to take control. I'm going to have to fix this shit because I'm scared. I'm scared. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared. Shit. I'm this way, but I'm more going up to him than I'm going down to where I need to be. Right? So, here we go. When he passed away, it was people coming from Los Angeles. It was people coming from all over. Again, this was a Puerto Rican man who did it for the Puerto Ricans like no other. Who did it for the Puerto Ricans and don't even got a float in the damn parade. Ain't that some shit? So, before we say fuck Fat Joe, before we say fuck Wack 100, before we say fuck anybody, let's be happy culturally. We might actually see Pun get his just due. Let's take the personalities, let's take all that shit off the table. Fat Joe did what he did what he shouldn't have did. He did what he did what he shouldn't have did. It don't matter right now. Wack do what he do what he ain't supposed to do. That shit don't matter right now. And again, as the people who say they love Pun, that say he's so nice, why do you let the minuscule, minute shit shatter or supersede the fact that the man might actually get a fucking series? So y'all letting bullshit, petty politics, again, them fucking feelings, fuck up the fact that he might get a series now? When people are saying, yo, this person, and again, I'm going to say this shit because it has to be said. It's not said enough. Many of you do not know the business. Why you don't know the business? Because you don't fucking know. You have never had a contract. Nobody has ever asked you for your social security number. You've never even been in a record label. You've never even been in a record label. You never got offered anything. You've never been in a situation to where you got to learn the business. Your learning of the business is second, third hand stories. And I heard, and this person, because all y'all know is somebody beat somebody. Somebody stole from somebody. You hear these stories, but then again, you never heard the story about how somebody was taking care of somebody for 2-3 years. And then when the money came, they wanted their money back. You say automatically, oh, why he took that from him? Well, because he gave it to him first. I used to tell people, we might be in Chungking. We was in studios that was $250 an hour. Motherfuckers in there smoking weed, calling chicks, laughing and joking and playing. Me always being dead ass serious. Like, yo, fuck is y'all niggas doing? Like, I'm not here to play. Let's get this music done. And I'm like, yo, how much this shit cost? Yo, this shit like $250. Who's paying for it? Then the label paying for it. The label paying for it? So you think they got 10 hours at $250 an hour. They got, that's called block time. 10 hours at $250 an hour, which is $2,500. You think they're paying for it? You think they're paying for it? Yeah, they're paying for it. They're paying for it. But you think that's free money? You don't think it comes a point where they want their money back for what they paid for? So a lot of times dudes was bullshitting. I remember going to studio sessions and the artist never showed up. I can name many artists. Yo, such and such get here yet? Nah, they ain't get here. So I'm sitting in the studio because I spoke to them. Yo, let me, what you doing? Nah, I'm in the studio. I go to the studio. They never show up. Me always being inquisitive. Yo, how much is the rates here? Because I always used to look for new studio. How much is the rate? Oh, it's $140 an hour. Oh, what? Yeah, $140. That's without the engineer. The engineer is $50. So it's like $190 an hour. Let me ask you something. How much time they book? Or they book 8 hours. So I'm sitting there doing the math in my head like, damn. Y'all got it like that to not come, because anytime I went to the studio, it always came out of my pocket. I never had a budget. So I was just like, yo, I was always like, yo, I ain't got it like that. So people, although the labels was misappropriating funds, although the labels was doing people wrong, motherfuckers was getting careless too. People would go to the, in Manhattan, where all the studios was, where Quad Studio was, Chungking was, Sound on Sound was, Unique was, I could name so many studios. You could go in the studio and they have books where you order food. So you know motherfuckers in there smoking, drinking. I never drank in the studio ever, because when I used to drink, the music was whack to me, because the music always sound good when you're drunk. But I'm like, yo, I'm not doing no music drinking, because that shit is not professional. So I never did it. So people be like, yo, I'm hungry. So I would go to sign artist session. They in there high, drinking, got some chicks. And they'll be like, yo, they go to the front. Yo, where the food books? Now I'm talking about this is like 1997, 98, 2000. They order the food. Now, when you order food in the studio, you get a burger in Manhattan. In those times, the burger was like $15. In those times. Now, me, being a broke dude from Brooklyn, I made $15 for a burger. Shit. Nah, I'm gonna go to the store and get me a damn a honey bun and a damn Snapple, and that's what I'm gonna eat. You know what they say? Nah, don't worry about it. Order what you want.
The label is paying for it.
Oh, really? So you mean to tell me all 10 of us is getting $15 burgers? Not counting your studio time, not counting tip, not counting none of that. And the label is paying for it? Okay. Let me get one of the burgers too. I want onion rings and I want fried onions on my burger. Fried onions is $2 extra. Put that on there. The label paying for it. So some of these artists, when the money came, you was in the hole. I remember dudes booking studio sessions to write raps. Like, yo, what you doing? Nah, I've just booked this to write. To what? Yeah, I just play the beat and write. Yeah, how much is this shit? Yo, this shit $100 an hour. How long you got? I got like 6 hours. I'm like, yo, so you paying $600 to write? No.
The label is paying for it.
Oh, really? Oh, really? So you just got a free $600. That's what you think, right? All right, that's a whole nother, discussion. But I just really came here to say, hopefully everything works out in the end. Everybody gets to see this thing. Who did what? Who didn't do what? I don't really think that really matters anymore. There's nothing new. All the information has been out there. People just chose to turn their head. Now we're in an exposed era. Now you have people who do things. And now everybody does content, right? Everybody has a platform, right? Everybody wants to expose people. But when I did certain things in 2008, a lot of people turned their head. So for the people who's trying to have invested interest in it now, fuck you. Because, again, when we needed your help, when we could have pushed certain things forward in 2009, 2010, before certain things went to litigation, before things got ugly the way it did, you could have stepped in and said, yo, look, I'm doing this for pun. I don't care about no politics. That was my man. That was my homie. I see his family suffering. And even if his wife don't get shit, I gotta look out for his babies. I ain't see nobody doing that. Shout out to Styles P for taking Chris and putting him on songs and trying to help him. I ain't see nobody doing that. So now is not the time to chime in and say, yeah. Now is not the time to chime in and say, this gotta be stopped. Fuck Wack 100. Again, if you don't like what he's doing, if you don't like what he did, why don't you counter the situation? Why don't you take him to your connects? Oh, I forgot. Most of y'all niggas don't got no connects. Most of y'all niggas still trying to be artists yourself. Most of y'all niggas is still got niggas you owe and don't do nothing for. So who the fuck can you help when somebody's helping you? But then they get mad when people help somebody, but you can't help nobody. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I know why people feel the way they feel about Wack. Again, some of that shit, if that's your feeling, you have issues with him, I can understand. But how does it get rectified? And it shouldn't take the hip hop villain, the New York hater, the big mouth of the culture, according to certain people, to try to do something for the culture, because he's supposed to be saying fuck the culture, right? He's not supposed to be doing shit. He's supposed to say fuck everybody. He's supposed to be starting shit, starting trouble. So, where you at? Don't we got like, them motherfuckers got connects that Zeus, Stars, Revolt. Where's all these people at? Isn't this the East Coast people? Because they got their little shows on there. They got their little shit going on, right? Where they at? Oh, they don't want to make certain people mad. So they'll turn their head and they'll act like they don't know what's going on. So we'll never get what's deserving for pun, and maybe what his family deserves, to be able to see this man. Remember when he died, his kids was babies. They have to live in the legacy and the shadow of somebody that they don't really know too much about besides what they see, and had to learn like their fans. Make it make sense. I'm going to say it again before I go, because I'm going after this. If you don't like what's happening, if you don't like who's making it happen, you do something about it. You counter the deal. You counter the situation. You hit Steve Rifkin. You hit Russell. You hit all these big. You hit Leo Cohen. You hit Jimmy Iovine. You hit Donnie Ienner. You hit all these motherfuckers who y'all never say nothing bad about. Because again, when you do, your ass is going, why you think I'm shadow banned now? We'll get into that one day. Because if you look at my videos, I had to change the titles to some of my videos because I had some of their names in the titles. You don't think they're going to band together and say, yo, we got to suppress this nigga? He be talking about too much industry shit. Talking too much industry, unwritten rules, industry secrets, industry shit that are giving people education on what the fuck is going on. Nah, we got to stop that shit. And we not talking about, it's the boule. It's the boule with a fucking axe in their hand. Or we talking about real shit. We talking about real shit. Not the fake shit, because they let you run with fake shit. And they let you run with little myths. And they let you run with little shit. They let you run with that because they know y'all scared. You gonna deal with spooky shit. But when you tell the truth, they're like, oh shit, did they really reveal that? Oh hell no. What if the people learn that? We could deal with it, we could let them believe that it's a boogeyman somewhere, but this motherfucker named the boogeyman. Holy shit. Oh no. You must be stopped. So they start doing little shit. And that's fine, because I ain't never going to stop what I'm doing. Don't even complain about it. Even when people come on here and pop shit, oh, your channel was dead, this, that, and the third, whatever. I can show you the day it happened. Yo, I had did a video, and I'm going to tell you what it was. It was the Chris Gotti interview. That's my favorite interview. That's why I always say that's my favorite interview. When I did that interview, after I did it, I said, oh, shit. I think I just fucked up. I promise you. I was like, oh, shit. Did I really put the person who runs YouTube name in the title in a derogatory way? I'm like, oh shit.
You big dummy.
I swear to you, I could show you the results of that. I was like, damn. But the truth was more than anything to me. And then when you stand on the truth, you think people are going to stand with you. You think people are going to say, fuck that, it's the truth. We'll make sure we do this. We'll make sure we share. We'll make sure we like, because it's the truth. You know what niggas say? Nah, you fell off. No, you ain't this. No, you ain't that. No, you ain't this. You're Vlad Light. You want to be like this. This person passed you. Okay, yeah, of course they are with sensationalized bullshit, but I'm talking to somebody who actually was in the industry and an insider that named all of those names. Please, when you get a chance, look up Doggie Diamonds Chris Gotti. Look at the full-length version of the interview. The shit that was revealed in that interview, we're talking about people blackball. That shit was, I'm telling you, after I did it, I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. But I thought the people would say, fuck that. We just heard some shit from somebody who knows, who sat down with all these people. No, what they do, they protect people. They protect shit. And the people who's going to destroy you or come for you, they're going to do it in a subtle way. But then there's always going to be your own people to carry out the mission and to take you out. They always do that. Then they promote other people. They push other people. Then they make us compete for nothing. This is what they do. I know the game. And again, that's why I be like, well, it is what it is. What can I do? But I'm never going to stop telling the truth. I'm never going to suppress myself, and I'm not suppressing anybody because the truth has to get out one way or another. The truth is never popular anyway. Only when it's do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, when it's shit that has been dispelled, when it's outdated information, and they know, oh, he's recycling that shit? Oh, yeah, he didn't come with no new information. Okay. Oh, he didn't reveal anything. They say, what? He said who? That is the head of the label who has this label, who has this label, who has this label, who has this label? I didn't know that. Then they got their little minions who look like us, who sit amongst us and say, hey, this channel is mentioning your name. It's not a good look. Hey, it's the channel named such and such. They got our names in the title of the video. Oh, for real? Okay. Don't worry, I'll take care of it. That's how it goes. So that's why I have so much interest in the underdog. That's why I have so much interest in the truth being out there. That's why I have so much interest in that. Because I know what can be done to you. I know what could be done. All this shit is digital. All this shit is buttons. All this shit is metadata, tags. I know what they can do to you. But knowing that they can do it to you, does that mean you stop doing it? Because I ain't scared. I'm going to die anyway.